So I think another reason why they stopped the SSI, one of the main reasons why they gave it to me is I think they thought once they gave me that money, and I'm gonna let me paint a picture for you. When I went into that Social Security office, I was visibly dying. I was as yellow as this background from jaundice. I was so severely bloated from the sepsis, the renal failure, and everything else. Couldn't breathe from the pneumonia. I had no voice because I had an abscess around my pharynx. By that time, this was September, October 2017. By that time, the CAT scans from Honor Health, where Virginia Goldwater McCain Piper has the cancer treatment network at Honor Health, showed that shit had fucking already metastasized into my sinuses. I had an abscess above the roof of my mouth around my pharynx. I had lung effusion. I had vascular congestion, which is to say congestion over the heart and lungs, hence the congestive heart failure and the cardiac arrest. They started me off on 2 high-powered antibiotics. The original ER doctors at Honor Health did their job, gave an accurate diagnosis, and immediately started me on 2. And I've got a picture of it, and it's on my Google Photos, which they've deleted a lot of, specifically those photos that I took of McAfee's business card and Tent Slice Joe and his hat and all. Anyway, doesn't matter. Special prosecutors, everybody's already got that. When they go and delete shit, it just proves that they're evidence tampering. But I was visibly dying. They thought I was going to die any minute. And when they told me that they were awarding me the money and that it was for the cancer, they thought I was just going to drop it and, oh, we got this. We're doing an investigation. We got this. You just take the money and, whatever. And then they proceeded to make sure that my electricity got shut off. That when I went down to the community center and the city utilities to get the printout to take to whatever, I recorded that fiasco. So they wouldn't give me the proper printout to take to the community center for them to cut the check to pay the electric bill that was due. They made sure they played games with semantics and what comes off the top. It was, you've already got, if you've got my phones and you copied the hard drives, you've already got that audio from them and the mayor, and it's showing his ass. And who was that lawyer? One of the city attorneys. I got him in my email. He kept telling me not to contact her. Motherfucker, you're a city attorney and I'm telling you I'm being murdered. You don't fucking tell me not to contact you. When you're a human, when you work for the Human Rights Commission, you already filed charges against them with EEOC for this shit, so stop. He was mad because he knew I was putting his license on the line because he knew he wasn't going to do shit. Same with Hawley and his investigators. They didn't want me reporting it to them because everything I reported to them, when they didn't do shit, it implicated them in the shit. Especially when I was reporting Democrats to a Republican Missouri Attorney General who eventually got elected as senator, who replaced Claire McCaskill. So in their minds, they thought because the only thing they value is money and whatever petty bullshit they, whatever trophies they get with it, they can't imagine the fact that first of all, that measly ass $1,000. Oh, well, she's going to be desperate. She wants to buy her markers and her art supplies and dewormer and dog food for the raccoons and this and that and the other. She'll go in and let us falsify records to say that she's, because they can't imagine somebody who doesn't value money or possessions or whatever. I mean, that stuff was a nice perk, but we're 2 weeks away from a deposition, which is all I've ever wanted. I'm not just trying to get justice for myself. When I see little kids, especially little indigenous kids, whether they're black, Native American, which includes Mexicans or whoever, and they're being called oppositional, defiant, and anti-personality disorder at the age of 4 because they're gifted autistics and need to be in the gifted school, but they don't want no people of color in that gifted school in Columbia, Missouri. Oh man, and then you put them in, and you're basically calling them violent super predators as toddlers. And then you're basically setting them up to end up like Michael Brown or Breonna Taylor or Anthony Rice, Anthony Lamar Smith and Tamir Rice and Trayvon Martin and all of my missing, abducted indigenous sisters, whether they're indigenous from Africa or North America or whatever continent their ancestors were from. Oh, and you're shooting all of our men dead in the street. I believe per capita, Native American men are actually killed at a high, when you actually look at it percentages, I think they found that Native Americans are actually killed more than blacks when you look at the percentages per capita. Yeah, more black men are killed because there are more of them. But when you take the percentage of how many Native American men are shot, and you look at the population of Native Americans, and we're a fraction of the size of African Americans, which actually most of us are mixed, so I think that's a bigger number. Ignore the quantum laws, blood quantum laws. But let's just say, people that are members of our card-carrying tribal members, the percentages are higher. When you compare numbers, the numbers, same with white people. More white men are killed, but the actual percentage of how many white suspects are shot dead in the street without any trial or charges compared to black, brown, red, yellow, etc. Even though there's a larger number of white men that are shot, the actual percentage of how many are shot dead compared to how many actually get due process is it's a smaller percentage of white people. So you can't look at the numbers. Oh, there's 400 white men shot dead every year, and there's only 30 black men. Yeah, but when I don't remember. I'm not going to go. I'm having a squirrel moment. So anyway, nothing that you fuckers, you Epstein allied sack shit, working with Cronin and Sweeney and Jacoby and Adam Beckett and Piper and Goldwater and all of you sexually deviant sacks of abusive shit. You can't fathom that I value the work that I'm doing with and for the special JAG and special prosecutors, whether they're state or federal or county or city or whatever. I should say special investigators. I don't care whether it's Officer View and the other officer that arrested me, or whether it's sheriffs or state police or federal investigators that Trump fired and went to work for Hochul, or whether it's lawyers or journalists or both, or JAG, former federal prosecutor, whoever. I value my work with and for them, and value getting justice for all the kids you've killed, all the kids you're killing, all the kids you're gonna kill, especially when you're fucking piece of shit trolls pretending to be progressive law enforcement victims advocates or agents for congressional oversight, played a role in murdering Michaela Raines and taking that mother away from her child and away from all of her fur babies, not to mention the 500 fur farm foxes. And when I mention that, it doesn't mean that Michaela's life is more valuable than anybody else's. That was just more vicious. It's one thing, we expect cops to shoot people dead in the street. We don't expect Disney and Lucasfilms, owned by BlackRock, to go pay off a husband of a tax-exempt nonprofit whose wife is an autistic, prodigious animal and human rights activist, because she was about rights for not just animals, but she was an activist in the autism community. She wanted everybody to be treated right. For no other reason than because I wanted to work with her. Because I posted something for her so she wouldn't feel bad when they gaslit her about why they didn't help them get the land that they needed for the foxes. And then they pay off the husband, and he starts gaslighting her about how everything stinks and the animals stink and yada yada yada, and murdered the mother of his child. And then does a fucking video with his crocodile tears. I mean, Erica Kirk in meal form to raise more money, and he's sucking all that he's getting in the middle of war. He's raising money under false pretenses as part of his payoff for murdering this girl for no other reason than to fuck with me. Oh yeah, and the land grab that they're going to do in the interim, that's just a perk. She didn't have enough land either in Florida or Minnesota to justify murdering her. There's a lot of farmers with a lot more fucking land than what she had. They did that to fucking hurt me. And they've been doing shit like that all my life. They tortured my pets to death. That's why they went after the raccoons and injected them with poison, and then I had to watch them die miserable, painful deaths. It's an intimidation tactic. And Dad turned it into a switch to switch me into assassin mode. So when you do this petty bullshit, harming other people to hurt me, you can't, there's nothing more you can do to me. I am laser focused on helping JAG, the civil rights organizations, in spite of their corrupt fucking leadership, what's supposed to be their leadership, at BLM or NAACP, ACLU, Human Rights Campaign, just because their leadership's, and me too, just because the leadership's pieces of shit, the people underneath are not. They're for real motherfuckers. Oh, and let's not forget AA. That kind of goes without saying. I've given them lots of credit over the years. It's time to sort of expand this. You murdered how many people? White, black, military, their dependents. You have no idea the army of people that are going to make sure I have whatever I need from now until the 9th. And if they want me to continue to do deep cover ops and after that, fine. All you did when you fucked with that money and then lied, and then I called and gave them a new address, and then you deleted that from my file, or you had some bitch lie and say that she didn't have a new address after I gave it to her 4 fucking times. I'm like, so, okay, you got my address now. When do I get my check? Oh, well, we still don't have an address for you, bitch. You just took my address. Why are you telling me I don't have an address? And then I start mentioning the criminal allegations. You got to do a medical exam, a medical review. She changed her story 3 times. All you did was fuck yourselves. You are hurting me. I said a long time ago, based on the dumb shit you're doing and all your fucking snitches you had up my ass all fucking day. You had the guy who led me into the trap, so his police friends could then close the trap, and then he'd blame it on me when he's the fucking